And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we get set for game two. Kind of snuck up on us. I don't think they gave us the normal 30 minutes between the game, Coach. I feel like it's about 5.
I think these umpires must have something they're going to do on Saturday night. They might be after some of them crawfish now or something.
Hey, that does sound good, as that Guaranteed Bank opening pitch is in there for a strike. This is Ella Lilly in the circle for ICC. We're going to have to put the lineups together as we go throughout here in game two, as we didn't get either of them this time. There's a ground ball to short.
That's going to be Porter at shortstop.
Throw across the way is in time, 6-3 on the putout. That was number 5 for Southwest, so that will be Wilkes that grounded out. We'll try to.
This will be number 1, Gillihan.
Open this a little bit and get a little gnat sound going for us as well. And so this will be Gillihan coming in. She takes that first pitch outside, I believe, for a ball, and she did. So as we said, didn't get either lineup here between the games, and I said didn't feel like we got that full 30 minutes either. So that pitch high, ball 2, 2-0 now is the count here to Gillihan. Well, ICC got a 3-run home run in the bottom of the 6th by A.B. Marler to pick up the 10-2 win in 6 innings. Big win there in game 1. And that pitch clips the corner of the plate for strike 1. Well, Coach, always tough to keep that focus, come off a big win like that. And, you know, coming from an ICC perspective to start with, you know, how do you get the girls turn around and focus and try to get the all-important sweep this afternoon?
It's all about philosophy we always try to use is to win this first inning. If you can win the first inning of game 2 when that team is coming off the loss and they want to come out here and make a statement, can you put up a 0 in the top of the first and get back in there? And, you know, our bats are starting to heat up there, so you want to get back and just start hitting as quickly as you can. Sure don't like to see that walk there to the number 2 hitter. Looks like number 19 will be the 3-hole hitter.
And this is going to be Leggett coming up to the plate. And she will dig in with 1 out and a runner at first in this situation. Now let's flip the coin in this situation, Coach. You know, you come down, you get run rule in game 1 off a walk-off home run. How do you get the team turn around, get focused, and shake it off and come in here to battle in game 2?
Yeah, if you're Southwest and you get run rule like that, you just got to get your kids, you know, of course we're dealing with 18 to 20-year-olds, but you got to give them the buy-in that game's over. We got to flush it because this game's just as important as game 1.
There's a ground ball. Third baseman finds it. There's 1, and can they get 2? No.
Got into the dugout.
So that will be a fielder's choice. 6-4 on the putout of Gillian. That is the second out of the inning, but the runner will advance as the ball does, as Andy said, get into the dugout. Well, it would have been a big time for that Little Caesars double play there.
Yeah, I was trying to watch the slide there at second. I wasn't sure.
It looked like some contact.
Yeah, there was. It was bang, bang there. Of course, she was out, but, yeah, she came in kind of high, which could affect that throw.
So this is going to be
number 21, Ladner.
So Ladner coming in to bat here. As we said, didn't get the lineup, so we'll have to piece them together as we go throughout the contest. That first pitch missing for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
Nice curveball there. It started on the plate and broke off the plate. Looks like our lineup left to right is going to be McKnight, Nichols, and Graham in right field for the outfield out there.
It's that pitch outside for a ball. 2-1 now is the count.
On the infield, we got third base be Shands, shortstop Porter, second base Duhan, and first base will be Stegall. And, of course, you said Lily's pitching, and looks like we have Zoe Goodman. Yep, catching game 2.
So that is your defensive alignment for the Indians, being brought to you by Coca-Cola. There's a ground ball. Shortstop gets it, throws over in time for the out. 6-3 to score that at home. We'll take a break. Let's hear from Coke and some more of our sponsors and be back with more right after this.
Keep watching. Okay, where's the remote?
Ugh, it's under her arm.
I'm gonna go for it.
So close.
Oh, maybe he can get it. Guess not.
I mean, can you blame him? We're delicious.
Delicious and sugar-free.
Delicious and caffeine-free. Yep. Anyway, about that remote.
When injury knocks you out, Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi will be there for you every step of the way. We are here to get you back in the game, back in motion, back to your life. Our elite team of orthopedic specialists will work side by side with you, educating you about your treatment plan, utilizing advanced technology, and providing you with a successful path to recovery. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. We will get you back.
Guaranty Bank, formerly known as First American National Bank, is a proud supporter of ICC athletics. Visit gbtonline.com. Guaranty Bank. We're more than a bank, we're a community.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we head now to the bottom of the first inning. ICC and Southwest scoreless. Southwest did get a runner on with a walk that was erased on a fielder's choice by Leggett. Leggett was left stranded. No score there in the top half of the inning. It'll be Lakeland Nichols to start us off here in the bottom of the first inning. It's that first pitch. They call it a strike. Looked to be a little high there as the catcher had to reach up and get it. And Coach Carson fronted, like, just even looking at the Southwest coaches, and they shake their head.
Yeah, that wasn't called a strike in game one for sure.
And then she's forced to chase that one. Strike two. 0-2 now is the count. Sharp in the circle, and boy, if she gets that, I'll tell you this, if they give both pitchers that kind of strike zone, this game might be over in 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty pretty wide and up and down.
And he's going to call that one a ball. You had to kind of wait as it was close to where he called strike one.
This is, I can already tell you as a former coach, I'd be talking to the umpire a little bit about how far back he is from the catcher. He's not even up close to the catcher, and it's hard to see when you get back further because you get blocked by the catcher some. I always like for him to get up there in a good position where they can see, and he's a good 2 to 3 feet back.
It's almost like he's scared to get up close to the ball. And
he kind of turned sideways. He don't have much equipment on that side of that right arm,
Yeah.
and he's kind of turned right now.
And it might be one of those where he's been hit recently, so can't blame him in that situation. 1-2 pitch. This one fouled off. We'll go to 2-2 once again.
Good battle.
Good news for the Indians in baseball. They were down 4-0. Then in the top of the fourth, score 4 runs to tie things up down there at Southwest. We'll try to keep you updated throughout the day here on the broadcast. So Nichols starting us off here. Reaches out, grabs that one.
Oh, yeah.
And the second baseman comes off her glove, and that'll be an E4.
Yeah, that was Talbot. She started game one in the circle for them. Now she's playing second base, but she started to come get that ball. You saw her start, and then she threw on the brakes, and she probably wishes she had caught that in the air before it took that second hop, and she came up off of it. So good start here for the Indians.
So Lakeland will reach on the error, and this will bring McKnight to the plate. So she will dig in here. Speedy runner at first. We'll see if ICC tries to make something happen. Bunt, fouled off, strike one.
Yeah, she's trying to get that ball down there and at least, trying to get a hit, but at the worst, get it, at least sacrifice bunt down. But shortstop's covering. There's a big hole there. If she bunts it hard right at the shortstop where she's at now, she could get a base hit on her own.
Lays down that bunt. It goes foul. 0-2 now is the count. Yeah, way they're shifting. Because the left fielder's, she's trying to come up, but if that first bunt would have stayed fair, would have been trouble.
It would have been trouble, and it looks like, the left fielder's coming in. If third baseman's having to field a bunt, she's coming to cover third because the shortstop's covering second. So,
and there it is. You caught it right up the middle, and that'll go for a base hit. Good job adjusting there by McKnight.
Maybe she just needs to get 2 strikes on her at the time. That's 2 at-bats in a row that she got that big, well, not 2 in a row, but she did get that big hit, in the bottom that kick-started that bottom of the 5th, 6 runs in game one.
Yeah, all 6 of those runs, you said, got that inning started, all of them coming with 2 outs in the inning.
And she had a 0-2 count then.
And this is bunted foul, as this is, I believe, Porter at the plate here for ICC. Yes, Porter. I was going to say I don't have a 13 on my roster. The reason why I wasn't seeing the 13 on my roster, the wire that I had pulled up was blocking it.
There you go. That happens.
Yeah.
Sharp's coming off. She didn't get the win, but she went 5 1/3 against Northwest in her last outing, and they won that in extra innings.
Pulls back, takes that one, and the runners double steal on the play there.
Great job of a little fake bunt steal. They did a little. I don't think Porter was actually going to bunt that one, but she was showing it, which drew the third baseman up, and then Nichols, with her tremendous speed, was able to beat the shortstop there, and there was not even a play.
Yep, they actually called it a ball. I thought he called it a strike, but he's going to come back and say it is a 1-1 count now to Porter. Porter takes that one, fastball inside. 2-1 now is the count.
That was pretty close.
Yeah, it's one of those again. We're going to try to get at least through the second inning before we kind of figure out this strike zone. But right now, it's kind of like me throwing darts. Not very good. This one fouled off. Count will now go 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Runners on second and third here in the bottom of the first. ICC trying to strike early.
Yeah, and just like we said, we put up that 0 on the top of the first. Now you got a chance to put the crooked number up here in the bottom of the first. It's huge if you could, put the heat on them, and score some runs right here and get them behind again, put the pressure on Southwest.
That pitch fouled and dropped, so we'll stay alive at 2-2.
You hear fans all the time yell, why did that catcher drop that ball? But when it tips off that bat, it changes direction,
yes,
and it hits your hand anywhere. It can hit you in the palm, it can hit on just the edge, and a lot of times catchers tell you that hurts because
yes,
they don't catch it the way they normally do. It just hits them wherever.
2-2 pitch, rip but foul, and so we'll stay at 2-2. Third base umpire tried to reach out and grab that one. That one was screaming. So if he would have made a play on that one, probably would have had to have a timeout for our trainers to come out and, 1, talk to him, be like, what were you thinking? And 2, check on him because that one was absolutely blistered.
I'm going to say that'd be the last time he would try to do it if it did hit him in the hand. But, yes, got a battle here by Porter and just need a, contact. Just got to put the ball in play for us.
2-2 pitch. Kind of a half-hearted swing, pop fly out to center field. Should be deep enough to score the run. It will be. And ICC will take a 1-0 lead on that sacrifice fly by Porter. So a productive out there.
That's exactly what you wanted. With 2 strikes, got something into the grass, got it deep. They're appealing to see if McKnight might have left second base early but didn't get the call. So she advanced to third, so now you're in the same situation with AB. You want a ball either on the ground or something deep in the outfield to score the second run.
So with 1 out in the inning now, ICC leads this one 1-0. And, Coach, that's what you said. You want to win this first inning, get a little bit of momentum on your side, maybe just take a little bit of wind out of their sail early on.
That's exactly right. And this would be a huge second run right here. Maybe we can keep the inning going with a base hit, but at least get the run in.
That pitch going to miss low for a ball. 2-0 now is the count here to Marlar.
Now she's in a good hitter's count right here. Pick out her pitch that she would like to get to drive something to the outfield, get the run in.
2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, and a runner at third here for ICC. That pitch goes high. 3-0 now is the count. Well, really got to be careful here, but just be disciplined. Sometimes in this situation you're tempted to take the red light off, but this early on probably want to leave the red light on here. And they do.
Well, he called it.
He called that a strike.
Yeah, he did. That was above the belt.
He had no idea. Like, he come up and just put his hand up and then
Yeah.
I hate to say no idea, but that was just poor form, I guess I should say.
It was, and it's not an automatic strike on 3-0. I had that discussion with several umpires. It's still got to be in the zone.
And that will result in a walk either way, so AB will draw the walk there. And now ICC will have runners on the corners here with only 1 out in the inning. This will be Shands coming to the plate.
You got a first and third situation here with 1 out. That was a good discipline, that bat. You know, she after hitting the home run to end the last game, she really wanted to swing the bat and get that RBI, but she laid off some tough pitches there that probably would have resulted in outs.
Shands swings, misses, strike 1. 0-1 is the count here to Taylor Shands. Again, this is somebody that does have power. And again, there's a big gap out there in left center. That pitch called a strike, but dropped.
Yeah, AB got a good secondary. She started to go on that, but when it pops out of their mid, it's not like it's a dirt ball read. It fell right at the catcher's feet, so
Yep.
it was a good job of staying there. But 2-0 count. He just put up 2-0.
Yeah.
The scoreboard's got 1-1.
Yeah, there it is. So
Or
yeah,
0-2
0-2
count.
Yeah,
0-2
0-2 count.
Yeah.
Swinging strike, and then that
That's
last one
right.
called a strike. That one outside for a ball. 1-2 now is the count.
So she got a battle right here. Like I said, same thing. Still trying to get that second run in. Of course, Southwest is looking to try to get a double play ball and try to get out of this thing. But, yeah, different philosophy here on this outfield lineup with the center fielder playing on the right side.
Shans couldn't hold off on that one. Chases it for strike 3, and that's a big Renaissance Bank strikeout there for Sharp. Second out of the inning now. And this will bring Duhan to the plate.
That was a big strikeout. She did a good job running the screwball in, and it came in off the plate. It was too much for Shans to lay off.
Duhan takes that first pitch for a ball. The reason why I pause is, like, legit, the strike zone right now is about chin to mid-thigh, if not knee.
He's not very urgent on giving us a signal either, and then don't hear him verbally calling it.
That one called a strike on the outer edge. 1-1 now is the count.
He's moving about like I feel after doing a bunch of yard work the last couple of days. Kind of stove up a little. He's not in a big hurry.
That's my natural state of being. 1-1 now is the count. Ball in the dirt, but it hits her.
And in softball, that is a hit by pitch. It's not dead because it hit the dirt. It continues on to the batter. It's a hit by pitch, and in softball, you don't have to get out of the way of the ball. So you don't make an attempt to get hit by it, but you don't have to move at all.
So this will be Stegall coming to the plate now. Bases are loaded. ICC fans, next time you want to load your plate just like the bases are now, make sure you start your day at Sam's Town Market in Manatee. They've got great choices of meats, unique side items, vegetables, tons of stuff. They're located right there in the heart of Manatee. Sam Ferris and all the great folks out there at Sam's Town Market. So Stegall will dig in, 2 outs and bases full of Indians. Looks at that first pitch and called a strike.
He
again.
did. That one's looked low and in, but he gave it to her. Catcher, I think, did a good job of framing that ball.
Coach Owens just walks off and has a brief conversation with the Southwest coaches. And that pitch runs inside. 1-1 now is the count. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Bases loaded here for the Indians. ICC would love to tack on another insurance run here early on in this one. As Stegall looks at that one, high for a ball. 2-1 now is the count.
Some of these uniforms some of these teams are wearing, it's about like a Northeast baseball game that called a couple weeks ago. The numbers were hard to read. I'm going to start getting some binoculars on a few of these.
2-1 pitch. Oh my gosh.
Now, I can tell you that from our past history. I've got several, had the luxury of coaching 3 MACCC pitchers of the state pitchers of the year that would love to got that on their rise ball. They would
No doubt.
They'd be tickled coming back to the dugout.
I understand Sadie's tall, but she's not 7 foot.
Oh, look
But
at
how
here.
about this one? This one blistered deep, and it's going to be off the wall. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. 3 runs will score. Sadie says, call it a strike at my nose. I'll put it out in the outfield. And the Indians add 3 more to the board.
And that's one of those old sayings that say the ball doesn't lie.
Yes.
And she very questionable call right there. She stayed, within herself, didn't get outside of herself, and let that ball travel on a curveball away and hit that thing in that right center field gap. And yes, big hit we needed to get this game kick-started off for the Indians.
Well, this will be Graham at the plate now after that bases clearing double by Stegall. That pitch called a strike. Yeah, this was some of those, you look back, the Madison and all those, if they would have this strike zone, my goodness. Olivia and that bunch. They probably would have doubled their strikeouts.
And they had a bunch in their career as it
They
was,
did.
but yeah, I would feel bad for the opposing hitters trying to hit that.
1-1 now is the count here to Graham, the 8th batter of the inning here. Goes down and will foul that one off for strike 2. 1-2 now is the count.
And, you know, you think, Gord, through the years, we've seen some pitchers come in here from other teams throwing
Yes.
mid-60s, upper, touching 70 miles an hour that had extremely good rise balls that would be salivating right now if they had this umpire.
There's a
There
shot.
it
It's
is.
through the middle. And they're going to test the arm of the center fielder. The throw home is in time, but she doesn't apply the tag.
Yeah, that's a great job by Coach Owens there at third base. I know he's an aggressive coach, and he was going to make the center fielder double zeros at Roebuck make the throw, and she did make the throw, but she short hopped the catcher, and I don't think the catcher had a good grip on it to try to go down with that tag. And she got distracted a little bit by Graham, I think, going to second, too. She looked up and saw her going first, second, thought she might have a throw there, but she didn't make either play, and that's a tremendous job by the Indians pushing the issue.
Smart by Graham to advance to second on the throw home. As that pitch across for a strike, and ICC has put 5 runs on the board here in the bottom of the first inning. And as we said, one day, a good start to the contest will hard to beg for much more than what they've done so far. Goodman lines this one out to right field. Right fielder makes the diving catch to end the inning, but the Indians do put 5 on the board to go up 5-0 here in Game 2. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this on the ICC Sports Network.
Join us for Chop Day at ICC on April 24th at Eaton Field for a day filled with great food, exciting football, and community fun. From 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., enjoy a variety of food trucks at the Crane Pavilion with the first 200 students eating for free. Then, starting at 6 p.m., Butch Lambert Stadium opens with a free kids zone, concessions, and Chick-fil-A available for purchase. At 6:30, catch the ICC football team scrimmage, followed by Chop Like It's Hot, an on-field dance party featuring DJ Cole from 7:30 to 9 p.m. That's Chop Day at Itawamba Community College, April 24th.
When injury knocks you out, Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi will be there for you every step of the way. We are here to get you back in the game, back in motion, back to your life. Our elite team of orthopedic specialists will work side by side with you, educating you about your treatment plan, utilizing advanced technology, and providing you with a successful path to recovery. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. We will get you back.
Guaranty Bank, formerly known as First American National Bank, is a proud supporter of ICC Athletics. Visit gbtonline.com. Guaranty Bank. We're more than a bank, we're a community.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we shift now to the top of the second inning. ICC with the big bottom of the first. They score 5 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. Thanks to that great diving catch by Wilkes out there in right field to end the inning. If that play isn't made, if she don't dive, it gets by her. But
Yes.
the chance of diving and it getting away from her, good job of holding on the ball, and she made that rough landing on the contact.
She did. That was a tremendous play for her, and that was our number 9 hitter. She had a top lineup. I tell you what the Indians did there, too. Again, we got the sac fly there, but then with 2 outs. All the rest of those other 4 runs all came with 2 outs, just like we did in that bottom of that 5th in Game 1. I mean, that's tremendous 2-out hitting with Stegall getting that bases loaded double, clearing, and then Graham with a base hit up the middle. So
Yes.
that's a great answer. Now you want Lily to come back out here with her defense, put up another 0 if she can.
That pitch called a strike. That one below the knees, so the guessing game continues. 2-1 now is the count here. And I did not see the number of the young lady. Is that pitch outside for a ball? This is 15.
Clements.
Clements.
The catcher, yep.
She said, didn't get either lineup before the start of the game, so do apologize for piecing this one together as we go here. Good for ICC. They sent 9 to the plate, so we know who they've got coming up. A big, healthy swing and a miss there. Clements trying to put that one out to the football field.
She took the swing that you want with a 3-1 count. Now it's a full count. Lily's back in it. She got to make them hit their way on.
Waiting the pitch. And there is strike 3.
Well, that's a great job by Lily to come back right there from the 3-1 count and to get the strikeout. That really demoralizes an offense there when you give up 5 runs and now the pitcher fight. You think you had a chance to get something started, and she just shuts the door. This will be number 20.
This will be her first Renaissance Bank strikeout of the game. Talbot coming to the plate now here for Southwest. That first pitch in there for a strike.
Now he's pointing it when it goes over the plate.
Yeah.
Let us know where it crossed.
He's letting us know where it crossed, or at least where he sees it crossing. Is now some of these Southwest faithful getting fired up as there's a shot to second, but a nice play. Throw over is in time for out number 2.
Good job by Duhan right there reading that hop. It's not one you can attack. She kind of actually took a little drop step, and it has perfect bounce right up waist high, and that's the little part of a home field advantage. She takes a few ground balls here in practice.
So 2 away now, and
this will be the first baseman.
Yeah, this will be
27.
Peavy. Yeah, Peavy coming to the plate. She had a couple of hits in game 1. So her bat's been hot today for Southwest. Listen to that pitch outside for a ball. 1-0 is the count. Checking in on baseball, they're in the bottom of the 5th. The Bears have bounced back to take a 5-4 lead there in game 1 after the Indians rallied with 4 in the top of the 4th to tie it at 4. So that pitch in there for a strike.
That's a 9-inning game, correct?
It is.
Game 1. So a lot of baseball left there. Good job by Lily. She's just filling up the strike zone, pitching with a lead, exactly what you would want Coach Owens and them to see her go out here and just fill up his strike zone.
This pitch popped up, center fielder drifting over, and will squeeze it for the out. 1, 2, 3, go the Bears in the bottom of the 2nd. ICC will send Nichols, McKnight, and Porter to the plate when we come back in the bottom of the 2nd. Back with more right after this.
At Little Caesars, get a large 2-topping pizza for only $5.99 when you order online. Wait, did I just say $5.99? Get out of here! This pizza's only $5.99? No way! This is $5.99? You're joshing me. You're saying this pizza perfection is only $5.99? Well, you're crazy for this. Hey, pirates, get your hook off my $5.99 pizza! Choose a large 2-topping pizza for the unbelievable price of $5.99 when you order online. Only $5.99? What?
Pizza, pizza.
When injury knocks you out, Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi will be there for you every step of the way. We are here to get you back in the game, back in motion, back to your life. Our elite team of orthopedic specialists will work side by side with you, educating you about your treatment plan, utilizing advanced technology, and providing you with a successful path to recovery. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. We will get you back.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we move now to the bottom of the 2nd. ICC up in this one 5-0 after a 5-run bottom of the 1st. There was a sacrifice fly by Porter that made it 1-0, and then a bases loaded double by Stegall put 3 more on the board, and then RBI single by Graham, and that's where we're at now, 5-0 here as we head to the bottom of the 2nd. Nichols, McKnight, and Porter scheduled up here for ICC.
It's always great when you bat around in the first inning.
Lakeland looks at that pitch. It's in there for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Yeah, that's exactly the ideal start, if you will. Of course, you would love to have put more runs on the board and maybe batting around a little bit more, but not to be greedy. Send 9 to the plate and score 5 is a good deal. Oh, and that might be why the umpire was staying further back from the ball. As the catcher is going to go talk to the pitcher. Lakeland's going to go talk to Coach Owens. I'm going to talk to Coach Andy. And the first base umpire is going to come check on his guy behind home plate.
Yeah, that's I've never been to an umpiring school, but I've noticed the umpires who do stay that far back get hit more because there's a little bit more room for balls to bounce up like that, where usually it would catch the catcher or at least hit you in your protective gear. You're kind of exposing yourself a little there.
That pitch fouled off. I hope he's wearing some protective gear on where it hit him. As that was unfortunate. 0-2 now stays the count after that foul ball.
That softball's a little bigger than a baseball, and it kind of went south of the border, as they would say.
It did.
He's a trooper. He's still in there, and he's battling about like Nichols is battling right here for us.
0-2 pitch. This one popped up. Left fielder will drift over and make the play for out number 1. So 1 away now, and this will bring McKnight to the plate. She singled, stole a base, and eventually came around to score part of that 5-run bottom of the first inning. ICC, this is a big game for both these two teams, Coach. ICC coming in with a now 24-15 record, 9-11 in conference play. Southwest slipped to 13-24, 7-12 in conference play. For Southwest, you want to battle back and earn the split here just to stay a game back. But ICC, you want to go ahead and get that head-to-head tiebreaker with a sweep this afternoon.
You sure do. This would, like we said, they came in both with 11 losses into today's games, and now, they've got 12, ICC State 11. So if you could put 2 games between you and how a tiebreaker would be huge for Itawamba.
That off-speed pitch outside for a ball. 1-1 now is the count.
That a lot of people don't realize that slow of a changeup right there is really hard on your slap hitters who run up to hit the ball, because they're trying to keep their weight back because they've got to stay in that batter's box or they get called out for being out of the box.
There's a shot to the shortstop, glove nicely, throw over in time for the out. That's a good play and a good job by the shortstop, because you've got a speedy McKnight. You can't just take your time and take a breath and toss it. You got to get it in the glove, out and across the way.
It was, yes. She didn't take any time. As soon as it hit her glove, she was letting go of it.
Well, this is Porter, who had a sacrifice fly that was brought to you by the ICC Baptist Student Union, reminding you of the ultimate sacrifice paid for our sins. As she takes that first pitch high for a ball, that drove in the first run of 5 back in the bottom of the first. So she's trying to spark a 2-out rally here. Southwest trying to get a little bit of momentum back on their side with a 3-up, 3-down inning. There's a ground ball. Nice play by the third baseman. Zips it across, and they will get that 3-up, 3-down inning. Nice answer there by Southwest after giving up 5 in the first, bouncing back with a 3-up, 3-down there in the bottom of the second. We'll take a timeout, hear a few words from our sponsors, and be back with more right after this.
But I just don't know which way to turn. I'm about to dance in my pain.
When injury knocks you out, Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi will be there for you every step of the way. We are here to get you back in the game, back in motion, back to your life. Our elite team of orthopedic specialists will work side by side with you, educating you about your treatment plan, utilizing advanced technology, and providing you with a successful path to recovery. Orthopedic Institute of North Mississippi. We will get you back.
Welcome back. Now as we move to the top of the third inning, ICC up in this one 5-0. Indians just score 2 runs on a single with bases loaded in the top of the 5th to retake the lead 6-5 in baseball. You can watch that one on go.smccbears.tv. So big time play there. Actually, it was an error on the play. Now they'll look at Game Changer. So the Indians cash in on the error.
That is a check swing missile hit foul right outside the third base bag. I mean, she stopped her swing and really hit. All right, this is there. Like I said, Southwest there in the bottom of the second was tremendous by Sharp to get 3 up, 3 down, and get her. Her lineup come up here, because they're just now on their 8, 9, and 1 hitters. They haven't been through the lineup yet, so that really was good for Southwest.
That pitch just outside for a ball. 1-2 now is the count. Andy, who is this at the plate?
This is 16, AC, Aaron AC.
So AC at the plate with the 1-2 count. That one in there for strike 3. Hey, extremely delayed call But it's going to punch her out with a Renaissance Bank strikeout. Nice job there. Second of the game for Lily. And now we go to the number 9 batter coming up here for Southwest.
This will be 00, Lauren Roebuck.
So Roebuck, who was the flex in game 1, getting to bat here in game 2. She'll dig in with 1 out, nobody on. Swings at the first pitch she sees, popped up. Duhan will go over and reel that one in for out number 2.
I know I wasn't laughing with AC striking out. I was laughing at the umpire because he's been so slow and everything. And then when he decided to call that, he punched.
He did.
That's the quickest he's moved all day was on the call third strike, which was kind of, I would say, questionable call. A little low and inside. And the catcher did a good job kind of framing. Goodman did there. But, yeah, he ain't been.
Yeah, he hasn't called pitches with purpose, I guess.
Yes, yeah.
He's just kind of been lackadaisical.
That's a good way to put it for sure.
1-0 is the count. And what we're saying this, folks, we're not complaining, fussing. We're describing how the umpires called the game. We're not critiquing him in any stretch of the imagination, although we tend to every once in a while, but not what that was intended as.
No.
Big inning for the Indians in baseballs. There's a grounder right back to Lily, and she will toss it over for the 3-up, 3-down inning of Southwest.
Great job by Lily there to come back and put up another 0 for us.
We'll keep it here. As I was talking about baseball, they've bounced back and taken 8-5 lead. It was a double by Stone Collier that scored Treadaway and Ferris. That's the second 2-run double of the day for Stone. And ICC has bounced back to take an 8-5 lead there in the middle of the 5th, game 1 at Southwest. Of course, we've got 2 games scheduled down there just like we do today. Appreciate our friends Travis and Michael, the SIDs down there at Southwest. They do a great job for you guys down there at Southwest. So next time you're at a ball game, you see them out there working hard, be sure and go by and tell them thank you. And there's no better way to thank them than buying them a nice ice-cold Coke. And so appreciate Travis and Michael and all they're doing today for us down there. Now, we are keeping a close eye on the game today, Coach, because a win in Game 1 and win in Game 2 could be a very special day for Coach Rick Collier, who is 2 games away from reaching 700 wins in his career. Andy, I know you surpassed, 300? Just the thought of 700 wins.
Man, 700 wins at one. Is that
at
one place?
Just here at ICC.
Yeah, that is. I think for my whole career, I had over 500 at several different locations and different levels, and to do it on the collegiate level, 700 is amazing. I mean, he is as we would say, a seasoned coach who has had a tremendous, I would say, potential Hall of Fame career, no doubt here. And and talking about Stone, I mean, Stone's a guy that he can get hot. He can carry a team for a couple weeks. And, that's what I think Coach Collier has been really pushing to find more guys to really start swinging the bats. And that having that big walk-off win the other night could be a spark plug for this team and stuff.
Marlar will start us off with a single out to left. She'll be replaced on the base right now by Morgan Green, who will come in to run in this situation.
That was a great job right there of, after the pitcher here, Sharp, came out and, gave up the 5 runs in the bottom of the first, but then went 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the second. And now Mara comes out and hits this leadoff single to really put the pressure back on them. And you can tell Southwest right now they're trying to get it reeled back in and find a way to get back, no runs anymore for the Indians to extend this lead and then get back in there and swing the bats. And this is a good job by the Indians. Just keep putting pressure on them as we go through this game.
This will be Shands at the plate now. Green running over at first for the Indians. Shands shows bunt, pulls it back. Green slides in safely as they drop the ball. Boy, that was close.
That was really close, and he was getting ready to ring her up. He then made a fist and was fixing to punch her out until he noticed the ball had dribbled out of the shortstop's glove there. I think part of that had to do with the slide. It looked like a good slide. It kind of jarred the ball loose there from the shortstop.
Really surprised he went ahead and changed it because the dust kind of flew up. There's another bunt laid down, only one play, and it's to first. A beautiful sacrifice bunt completed there. 5-3 on the putout. But that's just perfectly executed softball right there, Coach.
That was. That's what Coach Owen, he saw the 3 up, 3 down last inning, and he wants to extend this lead. So when he got Green to second base, he bunted her over. Now you got a runner at third with less than 2 outs, and Duhan's been solid all year, making contact, and that's what we need right here. Infield's coming in, trying to cut off this run.
She was hit by a pitch the last time and swings on that one, and thank God we have that net up.
Yeah, I took a gasp right there because I was thinking of the old days. That would have rattled around, and as they call that, the ugly finder. Thank goodness the ugly part over there is just that net catching it right there because that ball was hit.
There was 2 players that went running, and it was hit so fast, Andy. That was one of those that you wouldn't have any chance to
react
to it.
Not at all. Good job.
As this one's going to be a fly ball out to center field. Over the head of the center fielder. 1 run will score, and Duhan will get a double.
That's a tremendous job of hitting that. Sharp just went hard inside with a screwball, and I believe Duhan, she got hit twice in the same inning in game 1, and now she's got a target on her, and then she gets hit in her first at bat, and then screwball inside, so she opens up, pulls it hard almost into the dugout over here, and then Sharp went with a changeup, and she kept her hands back and hit that ball over the center fielder's head. Just a great job of staying on the ball for Duhan.
6-0 now after that RBI double by Duhan that scored Morgan Green. This will bring Stegall to the plate. And she's going to hit it and over the head of the second baseman. And they're going to send Duhan, and she is going to be in safely. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Let's go back and double-check that on the Little Caesars
She didn't
instant
get her
replay.
glove down, that's for sure. She didn't get all the way to the ground.
So we're going to watch this one on the replay here. It was almost a double play as a nice effort by the second baseman. And
Duhan did a good job of I thought the second baseman was going to catch that ball, and she did. She took a step back because she thought the same thing, and so
they're going to talk this one over. And Andy, it's a good thing we don't have instant replay to play on the video board. They tagged her on her hip, and her ankle was past the plate.
That's what I was talking about. It didn't look like the catcher got her glove all the way to the ground to tag her, and
so a big-time break there for Southwest. Not trying to take anything away from the situation. We have the advantage of having instant replay up here, and if you're an ICC fan, you agree. If you're a Southwest fan, you're obviously going to agree with the home plate umpire. But, the tag on the hip when her foot was in the other batter's box beyond the plate. So a big-time break there for Southwest. And a good job not giving up on the play to throw it in and have the opportunity to get the out called.
That's exactly right, because like I said, Duhan kind of hesitated because she thought the second baseman was going to make that great play, and I thought she was going to catch it too. She did a tremendous effort trying to get to it. And then Coach Owens kind of was just holding her up a little and almost kind of faked them out. And it was a good job on the relay there.
That ball runs inside and nearly hits Graham, and she turns around, looks at Coach, and he says, sorry, there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah,
This is going to be one of those game films that might end up in the hands of the commissioner by the time it's all said and done. As there's a ground ball. Second baseman, great job reaching out and finding that one and really get in for out number 3, 4-3 to retire Graham on a odd inning. But ICC does plate one more as we played 3 here in Fulton. ICC leads it 6-0. We'll take a break and be back with more right after this.
Kirk Herbstreit is a man of many talents. Not only an athlete and a sportscaster, but also an expert cartographer, an amateur alchemist, a surprisingly gifted poet.
What rhymes with encroachment?
But his true talent lies in the art of banking.
With Renaissance Bank's great products, rewards, and easy-to-use online tools, every transaction is a masterpiece.
You might refer to Kirk as a Renaissance man.
But I call myself a Renaissance man.
At Little Caesars, get a large 2-topping pizza for only $5.99 when you order online. Wait, did I just say $5.99? Get out of here! This pizza's only $5.99? No way! This is $5.99? You're joshing me. You're saying this pizza perfection is only $5.99? Oh, you're crazy for this. Hey, pirates, get your hook off my $5.99 pizza! Choose a large 2-topping pizza for the unbelievable price of $5.99 when you order online. Only $5.99? What?
Pizza.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we head now to the top of the 4th inning after a weird, wild, bizarre bottom of the third that saw ICC score one. Should have been two, but we digress as we move ahead here as Ellie's still on the heel here for ICC. Gillian, Leggett, and Ladner scheduled up here. And this one tattooed on a line, but a nice running catch out there in center by Nichols for out number one.
I'm telling you what, she I've said this before, but Nichols, she covers ground about like pine tree pollen.
Yes.
She covers about as much ground as pine tree pollen. She can she can pick them up and put them down, and just tremendous athlete. She can just run them down. That's fun to see. That's one of the balls I was talking about in game one with Coco. That ball was smoked. I mean, you're not going to hit it very much better than that than Gillihan did, and she just made a tremendous play and ran that ball down.
Yeah, that's all you can do in that case is just look up, tip your cap, and say, hey, you got the better of it on that one because it was barreled up on a line that time. Swing and a miss. As that time, Leggett swinging herself out of her shoes almost. Trying to spark something here for the Bears as they trail this one 6-0 here after 3 complete in game 2. Checking in on baseball, it's in the bottom of the 5th, and ICC up 8-5 with 1 out in the inning. As that one called a strike. There is runners on first and second for the Bears. You can watch that one on go.smccbears.tv. 1-2 now is the count here on Leggett. She reached on a fielder's choice. And then swings at that one that was in the dirt and somehow made contact. I think she even surprised herself that she come up with contact on that one. Almost like a cricket swing. I think she hit it off the bounce.
I think she needs to probably check the end of that bat, too. I think it caught the plastic on the very, very end of the barrel there. I mean, that thing was spinning weird. And probably need to check that ball, too. It could have got cut.
So 1-2 pitch off the netting. We'll sit at 1-2 once again. Rafi O'Henry running camera for us today. Appreciate Rafi. Casey Smith taking photos. Those available on ICCimages.com. Digital downloads available for $1. Better get those while they last because that company has raised the cost on us for operations, so we might have to adjust those in the near future. And that one called strike 3. And Leggett goes down looking and
I'm not laughing
we're not laughing at Leggett whatsoever. No. It's the fact that the ball was caught 1 second, 2 second.
Yeah.
Then the strike 3 is called. You heard a fan yell strike. You heard somebody else yell something, and then it's frustrating. And I hate it for the girls on both teams because you don't know what to do in these situations.
That's exactly right. And looks like they're trying to swing about everything now because you just don't know. And I've had that discussion, just like you said, you feel bad for the girls, and that was the discussion I would have with umpires is these girls put in so
too hard to have
much practice every day, and that you guys come out here for 4 hours, and y'all are the only ones here that's actually making money while you're here. And we need y'all to give the same effort that they do in practice, and then, to perform in these games, they need that type of high-level performance because this is arguably the best league in the country.
Yes.
I mean, you look at the rankings of how many teams we have, not just in our state, but also just say Region 23 of how many are ranked in the top 25 week to week, and that's the level they play at.
Off-speed pitch outside for a ball. 1-2 now is the count. And we're saying that, we're not just saying that for ICC. I know a lot of times when you listen to broadcasts, they'll be a little bit leaning towards home favor, but we're saying that for Southwest as well. They have been on the short end of the stick on plenty of calls today. And again, just if you ask these girls to come out and coach, and I know you're being a coach, you know this better than I do, but if you ask these kids to come out in the heat, in the rain, in the cold, to work their butts off the way they do just to come out here, and again, we're sorry to say it, but I'm having to have an umpire just ruin the game in this sense, it's just unfair to the girls.
It is. It's bad, unfair. I don't know a better word to put it, but they get frustrated, and like you said, the umpires are the adults here, and they're supposed to handle it and be in control. But then you got these 18 to 20-year-olds who are, they're battling, and this is what they know. And they play a lot, and they've played their whole careers, and they're expecting better, and we need better in this league. And I'm, like I said, what you said, Southwest has really gotten some bad calls, and We've got some bad calls. It's just been consistently inconsistent, as you say, or consistently just bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's consistently bad.
Yeah, and like I said, at the end of the day, you want consistency in your umpires.
Yes.
And that is the saving grace, if we will, in this situation today, is that the calls have gone poorly both ways.
They have.
The strike zone there have been strikes called at balls at the eyes, some that have been in other batters' box. So just one of those that, and we say that, yes, that's good because it is going both ways. But again, it's just so hard for the batters and pitchers to say, all right, where can I throw a strike? What do I need to attack? Where's your strike zone? All right, what's my mentality when I come to the plate? What do I need to, okay, you're giving that outer edge. I need to find a way to foul this pitch off and keep at-bats alive. Today you're just up there swinging at anything because it may be a strike if it goes over your head.
And that's one of the hardest things in the world. Of course, I know you're a golfer, and we always say golf's hard because the ball's sitting still. But you're trying to hit a round ball with a round bat that's moving and is spinning and everything. And then when you're don't know what to swing at, it really does. It can be a mental game, and that's one thing you got to. I know both coaches are really telling their kids just keep competing and do the best you can and don't say anything to the umpires. They're doing the best they can, whether we agree with it, don't agree with it. You just keep playing. Like right here, I know Coach Owens, he's wanting to pick up a couple more runs and see if Lindley can go out there and put another 0 and we can have another short game here, So that's you got to stay focused on what you can control. And umpires, field conditions, weather, those are three things coaches talk about. They're the uncontrollables. You just got to take them as they are and compete the best you can.
1-1 now is the count. This is Goodman at the plate. Looks at that pitch in the dirt. 2-1 now goes to count. Goodman, Nichols, and McKnight scheduled up here for ICC in the bottom of the fourth inning. They lead at 6-0. It was 5 runs in the first, bounced back with 1 in the bottom of the third. And now here in the bottom of the fourth, trying to see if they can find a couple more. That pitch right down the middle for a strike. 2-2 now is the count.
Yeah, we're about to be at that point we always talk about. You would like to have your leadoff hitters coming back up for the third time in the fifth inning. We're going to have ours come up here in the bottom of the fourth. So, 2 strikes. Goodman's got to try to find a way to get on and get it back to the top right here.
And she rips that one, but it does go foul down the line, so we'll stay at 2-2. Renaissance Bank scoreboard update. ICC issues a bases-loaded walk. They now clinging to an 8-7 lead in the bottom of the fifth. We're going to have one of them wild games, aren't we, down there at Southwest here in baseball. 8-7, bottom of the fifth, 1 out, and bases are still loading. ICC's going to the bullpen.
It seems like it's that way, baseball, softball, every year.
A little off-speed pitch. Goodman finds it, dribbles over to third. Nice play, 5-3 to get the first out of the inning.
And I commend Southwest baseball and softball for making it a tough place to play.
It is.
I mean, and it's and you can say that about most schools in our league. It's just going on the road is really tough. Mm-hmm. It's really tough to get W's or split or anything when you're playing on the road in this league.
Nichols lays down a bunt to throw across the way, is just in time. Got her by about a half a step there. She bunts that one a little bit softer. She's on easy, so that was a good job by the pitcher to get that and not hesitate to get that over to first.
It was, and that's one thing people forget, too, is that, that Sharp has been out there. Now we're in the bottom of the fourth. I don't know how many pitches she's thrown, but I'm going to say probably close to 80 or more, and they've all been underhand, and then she has to field that and zip it overhand, and she did a tremendous job with a fast runner of getting that out.
That one called a strike. 0-1 is the count. There is 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Sharp trying to bounce back here to see if she can find a 3-up, 3-down inning and get her bats back to the plate. That pitch outside for a ball. 1-1 now is the count.
That was a nice pitch by Sharp. She went hard in, and then she went with that changeup again, which we talked about a while ago. It's hard on these slappers, but McKnight's trying to find a way to get on in front of the 2 big boppers in our lineup coming up.
There's a hit, and shortstop. Look what I found, but not in enough time. That'll go for an infield single, second hit of the game. Heck of an effort over there at short, but when you got a runner with speed like McKnight, you're going to have a special arm to get that out.
You are, and that's She took one step too many, and that's because she had to just to get to the ball. But that was a tremendous effort by Gillihan right there just to even stop that ball from going to the outfield. But McKnight's speed, and we expect her probably in these first two pitches to be moving here, trying to get in scoring position for Porter.
So Porter is at the plate. She does go on the first pitch. Throw down is not in time. Actually, will get out to the outfield. But a nice job backing her up out there in center field. Second steal of the game for McKnight.
She got a tremendous jump right there, and she has speed to burn, and now she's in scoring position for Porter. Like to get this run in again, this two-out magic that the Indians have had all day.
Porter had a sacrifice fly and then grounded out to third. That pitch on the outer edge for a strike. I've got 1 and 2. Board showing 1 and 1. We'll go with 1 and 1.
It should be 1, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. First pitch was
she stole
the first pitch. So 1 ball, 1 strike. That pitch up for a ball. 2-1 now is the count.
I keep waiting on somebody to hit that left center gap. Now,
Yes.
you called the shot the other night in baseball with
I
Ferris
did.
hitting a 3-run home run.
I did. I should have instantly got in the car and went to Tunica.
That is a broadcaster's dream right there to call your shot.
And you just did it yourself. How about that, Coach? You said it. The left center's wide open. You've been looking for it all day, and Porter comes through for you with an RBI single.
They talk about speak it into existence. So how about AB with a little magic right here, and let's get this 8th run.
I like it as that run scores. And this is going to be A.B. Marler coming to the plate. Well, that's what Raphael, he's all about talking things into existence. And you did it just then, and we got it on tape. As that pitch, high and inside for a ball, 1-0 is the count.
To AB ended game 1 on what I call the perfect hit ball, that line drive that just carries over the fence. It's just a hard line drive, and it just got enough height to get over the fence, but you like to see those barreled up balls.
That one missing low and inside, 2-0 now is the count.
2-0, you could see Porter in motion here. I know you don't want to run yourself out of an inning, but she does have good speed and to get in scoring position. But I'd like to see AB get a good pitch right here, something she can hit.
2-0 pitch. That one up high, 3-0 now is the count.
She's had some good at-bats of laying off that pitch. Remember in the first inning that she was in a RBI situation and laid off of the 3-0 pitch was a little high, but
taking the whole way that time, and Porter will scoot down to second.
Now she's in scoring position, and she's still in a hitter's count, 3-1 count, looking for something to get to the grass and get Porter. We know she's going to get a good jump right here and has really good speed to score on something in the outfield.
So 3-1 pitch, and it's going to be called a ball. And now both coaches are coming out in this situation.
I think I know what happened. She's not re-entered into the game. Green came in to run for him, so Coach Johnson came out, and then one coach was trying to beat the other coach to the umpire.
Say the coach beat him to him.
I think Southwest coach verbally yelled it out, but Coach Owens was yelling as well and getting down there for him. So now he's going to pat Coach Johnson on the back, and he's going to walk out and talk with his fellow umpires and see what the situation is right here.
This is going to be interesting to see here. I say it, Andy, every time you come to the ball field, you're going to see something you've never seen before.
Most definitely.
In my 15 years of ICC ball, even going back further, you and I back in your West Union days, I've never seen this.
I've never seen two coaches running at the umpire putting a substitution back in or putting a player back in that had been substituted for. So this is going to be interesting because as far as I know, the rule is she completed that at bat. So if Southwest appeals it, then it goes back that she illegally batted.
Yeah.
Even though it was a walk, she just had a full at bat. And the reason he didn't call it while she was batting, because if he had came up there and said it, then we would have had the opportunity at being ICC to substitute during the at bat.
Gotcha.
So where you usually catch it's not batting as much as like if AB was playing a position, you would wait until she called an out, and then you would go say she's illegally in there defensively.
Yeah.
But If that's what they have, she just illegally took in that bat, which should have been green batting there.
Right.
And so it would be an out if they call that. But you had both coaches running up there to –
Yeah. And then
so
Carson got to him first.
He got to him first, yeah, even though I think I saw I thought Coach Johnson was jumping up for Southwest because he just put his finger like towards first base, which
Like
could
he-
be called
like he
like
was-
a strike, or whatever. But he's been so slow on his. That's where you get in
cadence,
trouble as an umpire, of not being quick enough and people not knowing what's going on. So they're trying. At least they're having a discussion, try to figure it out.
This may be one they wish they had an iPad or an iPhone on their phone right now so they can look up the rule.
Exactly.
And the rule book, because it's so bizarre and something you don't see often enough to have those type of refreshers in that situation.
That's true.
And so they are having all three conversation come up here.
Mm-hmm.
And they still are talking here.
Looks like the guy that was behind the plate in the first game is kind of more in charge, is calling third base in this game, is the one talking with Coach Owens, and he's going to talk with Coach Johnson.
And then the other umpire is like, hey, I feel left out. So he's going to come running in here and talk everything over. And judging by the conversation, it looks like it's going to go in favor of the Indians here.
Yeah, I believe with the body language, just reading body language from 100 feet away here, that Coach Johnson's not real happy with the explanation that he's getting for Southwest.
And
knowing him for several years, being in the league together and playing each other every year there, that once we went to the All-State League, he's a tremendous guy. He's a good guy. He's kind of soft-spoken, but just like any coach, he's going to fight for his team. And that's what he's doing right here. He's trying to give his kids a chance to, get out of this inning and then get to bat again and see if they can cut into this lead by the Indians. But, he's getting a good explanation right here.
And that's going to be one of those, any fan that's just now seeing Coach, and he's like, Coach, you said he's soft-spoken. This ain't soft-speaking. He's doing right now. But as you said, though, he is going to make sure that he gets his money's worth in this situation, and the umpire's going back to talk once again, and then probably going to put the game under protest from here on out till they can get a clarification on this. I would text Kevin Maloney because he's the one that's usually on top of all the rules. Of course, he does stuff for SEC Network, and it looks like they are going to possibly go get the rule book here as one of the umpires is walking out on the field. So
he's either going to get the rule book or he's going to call the head of officials or somebody that knows the rule book better. But the third base umpire did just leave the field to go like he was. I thought he was going to the bathroom at first, to be honest with you, but he just left.
Batter walks.
Conversation going on here between the teams. That's what people don't realize too. Us as fans get excited watching and stuff, but these are kids. They all know each other. Look at second base right there. You got five Southwest players around our two ICC players that were on first and second, and they're having a conversation out there, just being kids, and they compete and getting after it. But these kids have bigger goals in life, and most of it's not on the softball field or athletic field. It's going to be in getting their degrees and going on, be a successful members of society. And you just like having Coco Dawson in here, and her being a stay-at-home mom now, but she did have a great job before she had her child. I remember her texting me and telling me that she got one of her dream jobs, and that's what you like to see for these kids when they send you that. Now the other umpire that was at first base is going to join the third base umpire off the field, out of our sight here.
All right, so I did a Google search here, and it says in college softball, if a batter walks and the coach then wants to re-enter a player who – now that's not what I'm asking, Google. So batter walks before coach re-enter – no, they never – they can't ever understand anything, especially as screwed up as this is. And now you got both coaches talking this one over here. Players – let's see. Where's my phone?
Yeah, and neither coach is going to back down. They're going to fight for their team, and that's what they're trying to do. And it's not that you're trying to pull one over on the umpires. It's just you're fighting for your team, and that's what both of them are doing. And this is one of those rules that you just don't have every day. One of these situations you don't see in every game, so it's going to be interesting to see what they call here. But all these games are important. Like
It
I
is.
talked with some of these other coaches, now we're getting down to the last couple weeks of the season, and everybody's talking about how big these games are. But you don't realize that first week when you played 4 games, those 4 games are just as important as your last 4 games that you're about to play, and they all count the same. All 28 conference games count the same.
Yeah, we would typically break away for a commercial here, but we want to keep it here as the situation is A.B. Marler was at the bat. She walked and apparently was not re-entered in the lineup. Then the Southwest coach said something from the dugout. Coach Carson showed off his 4.0 speed to run to home plate, get A.B. re-entered into the game. So he basically beat Coach Johnson to the home plate umpire to re-enter her in that situation. The umpires met, talked amongst themselves, went back and forth, and eventually came back and said, okay, the play stands as called. Then Coach Johnson, rightfully so, coming out, talking to the umpires. 2 have left the field to go and check this out. So that is the situation there. I have text Kevin to see if he's free. Well, I'll just ask him over the air what's going on, and I almost want to text Chris, see if Chris is I imagine they're probably playing today, so they're probably busy.
I was trying to get some updates for us.
Okay, go ahead.
I haven't found many yet, but I do know that Gulf Coast is at Northwest in softball today. Northwest took game 1 4-2. Colin's at Northeast. That's number 1 team in the division right now against the Northeast being tied for second. Now Coach Johnson's at second base explaining to all our players and their whole team's there, and they're having a big discussion.
Can't really see it. Raphael hasn't switched the camera over from our coaches right now. All right, so I'm just going to type it in Chat GPT.
Our coaches are talking to the assistant first base coach there.
All right, so this is how
technology. Come on, Gore. You got all that technology.
So I'm going to go in softball. Batter was replaced with a pinch runner. And eventually, and came back to bat.
All right, in game 2 at Northwest, Gulf Coast takes the victory in extra innings, 6-3. And like I sent to you and Dr. Boggs the other night, good commentators are just like good umpires. They're not supposed to go into overtime or extra innings.
No.
But somehow that happened to me in Upton. We went 10 innings last time we had a game here, and in softball, 7-inning games. Y'all had 2 in baseball the other night.
That first game, I went back and looked because I was curious. From the broadcast time from start to finish, 4 hours and 2 minutes.
And y'all made the comment. I was sitting there with Dana, and it was on, and you said something about it being what start time was and what time it was there, and how many people out there can raise your hand if you've been with us the whole time. And you mentioned my name, and Dana said, "Did you text him?" I said, "No, but he knows I've been with him."
Him, and then Braden Billingsley, brother.
Oh, yeah.
He messaged me on Instagram saying, hey, I was there from the opening to the end. She drew a walk, and
all right, the 2 umpires are back now, and they are meeting with all the coaches for both teams, all 5 coaches, and the first base umpire has a sheet of paper, and looks like he is reading it off to them. Oh, he's got the rule book. Yep. I see the book now. I do see the rule book. I thought he just had a sheet of paper, but that is the rule book. I can tell by the shape of it right now.
All right, so here we go. In softball, when a player is replaced by a pinch runner, that batter may not return to the game unless she is substituted back in explicitly according to the rules. If the player who was replaced by the pinch runner comes back to bat without being substituted back in, it generally constitutes an illegal substitution. If the player draws a walk and an opposing coach appeals before the substitution is recognized, the appeal will typically stand, and that action can be called dead. The consequences would depend on the rule leagues, but often the players would be considered out for the illegal return, and the play would not have continued. The essential consultation of the rules, the league, which blah, 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 NFC, So basically, it sounds like if Coach Owens got to the home plate umpire before Coach Johnson got to the home plate umpire to sub her in before the appeal, So since Coach Owens is in line before Coach Johnson, Coach Owens wins, and it appears that is going to be the rule.
That's what it looks like with the body language of Coach Johnson from Southwest, and then our team was cheering in the dugout. That sounds like that's the way it's going to be. Is we're going to end up with Porter at second base, and AB at first base with 2 outs, and Shands coming to bat.
Okay, so for those that are just now joining us, wondering what's going on, Travis down at Southwest text. So this is what the issue was. Marlar reached earlier on a single, was replaced on the bases by Morgan Green as a runner. Then Marlar came back to the bat, was to bat, and she reached on a walk. Before that, she was not re-entered into the contest. So with that, then, as Coach Johnson is getting his money's worth now, then it basically became a race. I think it was Coach Johnson or maybe somebody, an assistant coach from Southwest, that said something from the dugout, which is, I guess, not an official appeal. So said something for the dugout, which alerted Coach Owens, who promptly sprinted down to the home plate umpire, got there about 3 or 4 steps before Coach Johnson got there, and substituted Marlar back in for Morgan. So because he got down there before Coach Johnson could officially appeal the play, the player was substituted back in the game in that situation. And so they went to the rule book. They went and got the rule book. I looked it up in ChatGPT. They said the same thing. Of course, ChatGPT never lies, folks. The internet, like Abe Lincoln said, everything on the internet is true. So they're continuing the conversation here as it's one of those, again, we talked about it. It's been a tough day for the umpires. It has. They haven't had their best game. And then just something like this they had already taken away from the game. And usually when you're having a bad day, like if you're playing golf, you got a case of the shanks, everything's going to go wrong throughout the day. And that's just going to be the case here for the umpires. They just can't catch a break.
Not at all. And I tell you, the one I feel for her in this whole deal is Sharp. She has not thrown any. And this has been –
it's been
10, 15 minutes at least.
Yeah, it's been quite the delay.
Yeah, and she's out there, and she's already got an arm sleeve on her pitching arm, and you're looking at, this is a big at bat right here for Shands, the first, second, and now you're not able to run for Marlar unless you're going to take her out of the game at first base.
Shands swings on the first pitch she sees. Deep, gone! A 3-run home run off the bat of Shands. And just like that, ICC bounces out to a 10-0 lead. That one gone to dead center.
And that's why
insult to injury.
That's why Southwest and Coach Johnson and them were trying to get out of that inning right there. Is for the potential of that. You don't think that the first pitch she sees, she's going to hit it dead center field, which is an awesome line drive. Coach Johnson's still letting that umpire hear a little bit down at third baseline, fighting for his kids, which you love to see.
Rightfully so, yes.
But you do, like I said, even before the pitch, that Sharp, you hate to see that she's had to stand out there, and their team has had to stay on the field during that whole deal where umpires had to go find a rule book. And a lot of people say, why are doing that in a 7-0 game? But that reason, because the eight runs is a run rule. So that really gives us 2 runs to play with going to their last 3 outs.
That first pitch on the outer edge for a strike. And I feel like a dummy all of a sudden. I just was listening to Ella's walk-up music, and I've heard it all season, and I now am realizing, as this one is a flare out to right field, and the right fielder will get it for the out. To finish that thought, is Rihanna's umbrella. Her first name is Ella. Rihanna uses the word Ella, Ella, Ella throughout the song, so kudos to her for maybe the best walk-up song of the season. 10-0 ICC after a bizarre 4th inning. We'll take a break and be back maybe with more right after this.
Another great Saturday of college football.
You're always pushing yourself. There's no time to rest. You keep moving forward. The only thing better than your last accomplishment is your next.
What's next? What's next?
What's next?
So, Allie, what's next?
I guess we'll see.
Find a bank that's as excited about your future as you are. A bank that asks,
what's next?
Renaissance Bank. understanding you.
Keep watching. Okay, where's the remote?
Ugh, it's under her arm.
I'm gonna go for it.
So close.
Oh, maybe he can get it. Guess not.
I mean, can you blame him? We're delicious.
Delicious and sugar-free.
Delicious and caffeine-free.
Yep.
Anyway, about that remote.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we head to the top of the fifth.
Very interesting bottom of the fourth there. It took a little while to get through.
I think it was OMC that once said, how bizarre. This game has been that.
I have heard that. How bizarre.
And I don't – did he call that a strike?
I believe.
No, I think he called it a ball.
She
Surely.
was shaking her head. She's the catcher for them, so that's – Clement sees a lot
There's
of
a
it.
shot and a line drive grab over there at short. It's just one of those days, man, and you hate to see it either for your girls, but the way this game is going today, it's just, man, all the breaks are just beating Southwest here in game 2. Now, as an ICC fan, that's great, but trying to be neutral here in the broadcast booth, you know, it's just some of those that Southwest is going to leave with a bitter taste in their mouth today. Nothing that ICC has done. It's just been a weird game. This one deep, beat, and it's gone. Big time solo home run off the bat of Talbot. And Andy?
Wow. That was a towering home run right there. It almost hit the scoreboard.
Yeah.
That,
not only that,
is it
breaks
what I
up
thought
the
it was?
no-hitter.
I wasn't going to write it down because I know the jinx of it and stuff, but I was looking through my little chicken scratch I have here, and I was about to make a comment that is 2 innings that they've let off in a row. The last inning in the top of the fourth, they hit the line drive that Nichols ran down.
Yep.
Then they hit a line drive right there. Shortstop Porter runs down. That, like you said, I was about to say the 2 hardest hit balls they've had have been. We made great plays, but that would be the third. I guess third time's a charm. That one left the ballpark and got the Southwest on the board right here.
Yeah, I did not realize that Lily had that going as that pitch across for a strike, and
we were piecing it together there in the first inning, so I didn't have all that bats, but I knew since then that she had 3 up, 3 down, 3 innings in a row.
There's a shot, and that one's going to go for a hit. So Southwest not going quietly into the evening as that ball's going to pop up, and
I think it popped her in the back of her hand as she was running there. She was trying to protect herself from it hitting her in the knee or somewhere, and she put her hand down. Of course, she don't have a glove because she's running the bases, but like they say, hitting's contagious. And there you go, line drive, home run, hard line drive, the opposite field.
Yep, and the thing about it is right now, if you're Southwest, you're like, all right, let's get 3 on the board.
Yep.
Let's give ourselves a chance, keep it alive here, and see if we can make something happen late in this game. And if you're ICC, good job by Coach coming out, settling everything down, saying, all right, let's get refocused here. No big deal. We're still up 10-1. Let's go find these 2 outs and get out of this inning.
That's exactly right. Keep force outs on their Southwest is at their 8-9 hitters, and of course they have gotten themselves right where they want to be to have a chance to extend the game right here as the run that would get it back to 7 is at the plate if you hit a home run right here. So that's all you could ask for Southwest is to have a chance to keep playing more innings, and that's what they're looking at.
And this is kudos to Coach Johnson. He come out in a very, 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 very loud way, yelled time to make sure the umpire heard him. And we will have a runner coming in this situation, as this will be
number 11.
Number 11 coming in. That is Faulkner. And that's just one of those opportunities as a head coach you love to get because you're like, guess what? I can kind of show my butt in this situation and get away with it.
And I'm going to say, going back to the situation bottom fourth, probably what happened is this guy behind the plate's going to say that he didn't hear him before he heard Coach Owens because the way he did right there, calling for time, I mean, he wanted everybody to hear him because that's probably going to be the excuse the umpire gave him. I look forward to hearing what it was, but I bet that's the excuse. He said he did not hear him before Coach Owens.
That makes sense. So that's a perfectly good example there on that. And as a coach, you've been in it plenty long. Coach Johnson, he's probably laughing that one off right now.
I think him as third base coach,
if you have that opportunity, you can't pass it by.
No, you don't. And that's there's several times I've had conversations with umpires where I've gone out and looked like I was arguing, and I was actually just talking to them, acting like I was mad, and telling them, most of these people here watching the game don't think I'm doing my job if I'm not arguing with you. So I'm gonna pretend like I'm arguing, but what you doing later on. What you got
Nice.
going. Who you call? Where you at tomorrow? You calling somewhere?
This ball popped up mile high. Shortstop calls everyone off and will make the play for out number 2.
Good job by our pitcher here, Lily, coming back in there and getting the next out, and that's what you wanted. You settle back down. Now that you're at the bottom of the lineup, you'd like to finish it right here with the number 9 hitter and not get back to the top of the lineup for the third time.
Well, we got a wild one going in baseball. The Bears have bounced back. Now they're up 10-9, and that is in the bottom of the 6th.
That sounds like a tennis match. It's just back and forth, huh? Just going
Exactly.
back and forth.
That pitch fouled off and out of play for strike 1.
That's the ones that give you a little gray hair as coaches, too, when you keep thinking you're getting the lead, you're getting momentum, and then all of a sudden you give it back. And
Yes.
you get more. The sad thing is, like we said, you are playing on the road, so they get the last at bat, and that's what you don't want to have, and that's the advantage of playing at home. Here we
This
go.
one popped up, and it could do it here. Third baseman calling everyone off will make the play, and that will do it. ICC will pick up the 10-1 win here in Game 2 to complete the sweep of Southwest. Southwest will slip to 13-25, 7-13 in conference play. For ICC, they improved to 25-15, 10-11 inside conference play. And we do want to wish the best of luck to our friends of Southwest as they complete the season here. Andy, your final thoughts here on a wild day at the ballpark?
It was definitely a wild day. Great job by the Indians to get the sweep. That's exactly what they needed to defend their home field right here today and to stay at 11 losses. And now almost of course, we're missing that Kahoma game. We only got to play them once, so we're at an odd. That's one that's got to be made up at the end of the year if it depends on the standings and everything. So you'd think we're really 11-11 right now with 6 more games to go. Our Indians control their own destiny as far as where they position, because we are playing several of the people like Southwest that we're there with now here in the last few weeks. So we have Meridian, we have different ones that are right there with us. But I mean, what can you say about Ella Lilly?
Beautiful
right
day.
there.
Beautiful day.
Oh my goodness, she came in, and like you was asking, what do we need in Game 2, and she did it. She put up 0, 0, 0s till they got the solo home run. Which when you got a 10-run lead, that's fine. You can handle solo home runs. They're not going to beat you. But then also offensively, what about Sadie Stegall getting the big hit there in the first inning? Got a big double with the bases loaded, and that was another, as we said, a 2-out hit. The big 2-out hit that really broke it open, that really, as you would say, put Southwest behind the 8 ball with giving us a 5-run lead. And then Shands just comes in and just puts the nail in the coffin.
Was two outs in the inning.
2 outs, 2-out hitting today is just really the key for the Indians to be able to pull out the sweep. They just had a lot of 2-out hits. They never stopped pouring it on. They never accepted that the inning was over, and that's a killer for the opposing team. It's really disheartening for the defense and the pitchers on the other side when you got a team that just keeps battling like the Indians did today. So kudos to Coach Owen, Coach Munson for getting this sweep at home, and we wish, like you said, Southwest good travels back home, and the rest of the season we'll probably see later down the road, but we look forward to the next week. We got a bye coming up, I believe, and we're going to play out of conference here.
Wallace State.
Yep, as we come through, and then we'll finish up with at Hines, which is always a tough place to play next Good Friday, because we got Easter coming up.
We do.
You got to chase some eggs. I don't know, they're a little expensive.
Yes,
I'll have to get the plastic ones.
We had to do the plastic ones this year.
I don't think I'm gonna start trying to cook the plastic ones. And then we have Northwest and Meridian that last week, and they're both at home, so that's good to have. The last 4 games at home as we're trying to find our position for the playoffs, and that's the main thing. Is still we haven't punched our ticket, but now with this sweep today, the Indians have gotten a lot closer to punching their ticket to know that they're officially in the playoffs.
Absolutely. That game recap being brought to you by Bank Oklahoma, John Herron, and all the fine folks out there at Bank Oklahoma, proud to sponsor today's action here. Andy, we didn't pick a Samstown Market star of the game for Game 1. I'm going to go with Ella Lilly here in Game 2, as we said, just a pitch away from a no-hitter this afternoon, but just some players that stood out for you today.
Yeah, I would have to say, of course, A.B. Marler hitting the big walk-off home run in the first game, and in the first game too. I mean, it's kind of a team effort today. It's kind of because you got McKnight that got the big 2-out, 2-strike, bases loaded hit that really got that bottom of the fifth in the first game started it, where we were able to get some breathing room there and actually end up putting the game away. But, I mean, you go through it, Porter, Duhan was a on-base machine today with hit by pitches, and it doesn't matter how you get on. That's a big key, I know, for our coaches, is finding ways to get on base, and she was doing a good job drawing walks and getting hit by pitches. So it's kind of hard to even this would be a team effort. I really do. Of course, you got the same old Cliff in Game 1. Sometimes we take her for granted because she really pounds the strike zone. I think I heard you at one time she's up to 140 plus.
She's over 140 strikeouts on the season.
That's tremendous. That's tremendous. And we know she's fought through a few injuries here and there. She stays in the training room like most pitchers do, but she has given us a shot, and that's what the coaches talk about all the time, just getting to the playoffs. If you can stay on where you're playing one game a day, she's going to give you an opportunity. And then when Lily comes out here and changes speeds and does what she did in Game 2, that's just I think our Indians are still their best softball's ahead of them, and they're starting to peak, and that's what we want to see. They went through a little rough spell, and that's part of the game. It just happens. You want it to happen in the middle of the season more than at the end. And that's what Coach Owen and them, they're wanting to be healthy and bringing their best softball once we get to the playoffs here. So, I'd say, man, today offensively it was a team effort. Even the Graham got hits, there at the bottom of the order to flip it back to the top, and we stole a lot of bases, and I thought we put a lot of pressure on Southwest, and that's what this program's been built on for a long time, and Coach Owen and them, they're doing a wonderful job of doing that and keep putting pressure on the opposing teams. And look forward to watching them finish out this regular season and heading into the postseason play as we go the next couple of weeks.
ICC wins Game 1, 10-2 in 6 innings, completes the sweep with a 10-1 game in 5 innings here in Game 2 off a one-hitter tossed by Ella Lilly. So for Coach Andy Kurt, Coco Dawson, who sat in with us for a little while, and all the alumni that showed up today here on Alumni Day, Raphael Henry, Casey Smith, I'm Adam Gore saying so long from Fulton. Have a blessed evening, and as always, Roll Tribe.
Another great Saturday of college football.
You're always pushing yourself. There's no time to rest. You keep moving forward. The only thing better than your last accomplishment is your next.
What's next? What's next?
What's next?
So, Allie, what's next?
I guess we'll see.
Find a bank that's as excited about your future as you are. A bank that asks,
what's next?
Renaissance Bank. Understanding you.